Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're great. So in this video I want to show you how to create this cool rain effect. So as you can see we have the rain particles and raindrops. So I want to show you how to create this step by step. But before, if you do like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't lose any new content. So let's start. Okay, so first let's create the Niagara system. To do this, let's open the content browser and here in the effects folder, just right click and go to effects and Niagara system. And here let's select create empty Niagara system. I will name this NS for Niagara system rain. Now let's open the system and here in the graph just right click and go to add emitter and select add empty Niagara emitter. And let's rename this, just double click on this name here. Let's name this to rain like this. And now let's start making the rain. First, we need to add some modules to this emitter. So the first one that we need to add is here in the emitter update. Here, let's click on this plus and let's search for emitter state. We need to add this module here. Now in particle spawn, we need to add the initialize particle. So just click on the plus icon here and search for initialize particle, this one here. And in the particle update, let's add the particle state. So just search here for particle state, this one here. And in the render, let's add the sprite renderer, this one here. Okay, so to start, we need to spawn some particles. To do this, let's go to the emitter update and here let's add the spawn rate module, this one here. So here in the details, as you can see, we can put here the spawn rate. So for this system, I will put here 5000 like this. And as you can see in the viewport here in the preview, now we have a particle here, but we have 5000 particles in the same place. So that's what this spawn rate does. Okay, so now that we are spawning the particles, let's change the location of each particle. So I want each particle to be in a random location in a box. To do this, let's go to the particle spawn here and let's add another module. And here let's search for shape location, this module here. Let's select this. And let's select the module here so we can change the details here. And the shape primitive, let's change this to box plane, this one here. So here let's select box, and for the box size I will put 5000 on the X and 5000 on the Y. And as you can see here, now we have the particles spawning in a box shape, as you can see. But as you can see, the particles are too big, so let's change the size of each particle. To do this, let's go to the initialize particle module, this one here, and here in sprite size mode, let's change this to random non-uniform. So now we can change the size of the X and Y here, a random number, right? So the minimum X, I will put 0.2, and the maximum X, let's put 1 here. And for the minimum Y, I will put 10 here. And for the maximum Y, let's put 50 like this. So we have this shape here. Now let's add some velocity to the particles. To do this, let's go to the particle spawn and here let's add the add velocity module, this one here. And for this add velocity module to work, we need to add the solve forces and velocity to the particle update. So here in particle update, let's click on the plus icon and let's search here for solve forces and velocity, this node here. Let's select this, and now as you can see, the particles are going up. This is happening because if you select the add velocity module here, as you can see, we have 50 on the Z axis. So that's why the particles are going up. But I don't want that. I want this to be random between two vectors. So to do this, here in the velocity, let's click on this arrow here and let's select random range vector. This way we can select a minimum and a maximum for X, Y, and Z. So now we just need to put some values here. Okay, so for the minimum Y value here, I will put 400. And for the maximum, let's put 700. And for the Z, for the minimum Z here, let's put minus 980. And for the maximum Z, let's put minus 1200 like this. Okay, so earlier I said that I want to put 5000 on the X and Y for the shape location, but I put 500. So let's fix that. I want to put 5000 on the X and 5000 on the Y in the shape location module. And now it's a good time to put this system in the world so we can see how the rain looks like. So let's go back to the map, and to put in the world you just need to drag and drop the system in the world like this. So let me just increase the Z value here, and as you can see we have a rain here. So it's dropping, but as you can see the particles is not aligned with the velocity. So let's change that. To change this, let's go back here to the system and let's select the sprite render module, this one here, and here in alignment let's change this from automatic to velocity aligned, this one here. Let's save this, and if we go back to the map, as you can see now the particles is aligned with the velocity. Okay, so now I want to change the lifetime of each particle. So to do this, let's go back to the initialize particle module here, and as you can see we have a lifetime here. So now is 1 second, so the particle spawns and after 1 second it's being destroyed, right? So I want to increase this from 1 second to 2 seconds, and of course you can change all these values to wherever you wish, right? Okay, so now let's go back to the map so I can show you one problem. So if we go down here, as you can see, the particles are going through the floor, and I don't want that. I want the particles to collide with everything. So to do this, let's go back to the system, and here in particle update, let's add a collision module. This one here, right? So let's save, and if we go back now, as you can see the particles collides with everything, but it's bouncing and I don't want that. I want to kill the particle when it collides. I want to destroy the particle. So to do this, let's go back to the system, and here in particle update let's add a kill particle module, this one here, right? So now we need to tell this module when to kill the particle, right? So to do this, let's click on this arrow here and let's search for has collide. So basically we need to destroy the particle when it collides, so we need this module here, particles has collided, right? Let's select this, and now when the particle collides with something we will destroy the particle, right? So let's save, and if we go back to the map now, as you can see the particles are not going through the floor because when it collides we are destroying the particle, right? Okay, so now that we have these basic rain particles here, I want to add a raindrop when this particle collides with something. So basically in the place where this particle collides, I want to add a raindrop, so another emitter. To do this, let's go back to the system and let's create another emitter here. So just right click and select add empty emitter, this one here, right? So here it is. Let's rename this to raindrops like this, and now let's add the modules. First we need to add the basic modules for this to work. So in the emitter update, let's add the emitter state module, this one here. In the particle spawn, let's add the initialize particle, this module here. In the particle update, let's add the particle state module, this one here, and of course in the render let's add the sprite renderer, this one here. Okay, so basically I want to spawn these raindrops here when this rain particle collides with something. I want to spawn these raindrops in that location, right? So I need this rain emitter to generate a collision event. So to do this, here in particle update, let's add a generate collision event, this one here. And for this node to work, we need to go to properties and we need to set this option here, requires persistent IDs. So let's check this, and now this collision event here is working, right? Okay, so now that the rain is generating a collision event, we need the raindrops to receive this event. So to do this, here in the raindrops emitter, in the stage here, let's click on stage. Here let's select event handler, this one here, right? So here in the event handler, we need to select the source, and the source is rain collision event, this one here, right? And here we need to set the execution mode here to spawned particles, so let's change to this, and in the spawn number I will put 10. So basically when the rain collides we will spawn 10 particles of these raindrops here, right? We will spawn 10 raindrops basically. But for this to work, we need to add one more module. So here in the event handler of the raindrops, let's click on the plus and let's add here the receive collision event, this one here, right? Let's compile and save. And now if we go back to the map, as you can see, each time that the rain collides, we are spawning a raindrop, as you can see. Okay, so first let's change the size of the raindrops. So let's go back to the system here, and in the raindrops emitter, in the initialize particle, let's change the sprite size mode to random non-uniform, so we can set the X and Y, the minimum and max, right? So for the minimum X here, I will put 0.2, and for the maximum X, let's put 0.7. And for the minimum y here, let's put 2, and for the maximum y, let's put 3. Like this. Let's save, and now if we go back to the map, as you can see, we have really small particles. Okay, so now let's add some velocity to the raindrops. To do this, let's go back to the system, and here in particle spawn, let's add a add velocity module, this one here. And for this module to work, we need to add the solve forces and velocity to the particle update, like this, right? So let's go back to add velocity module so we can change the settings. Okay, so for the raindrops, I want to change the velocity mode from linear to incone here. Let's change the velocity speed to 100. And let's change the cone axis here to be only in the Z. So let's put 0 on the X and 1 in the Z, right? And there you go. Let's save. And if we go back now to the map, as you can see, we have some velocity for the raindrops. But as you can see, the raindrops are going only up, so I want to add some gravity force to this. So to do this, let's go back to the system, and here in particle update, let's add a gravity force module, this one here, right? So I want to change the gravity force here to -480, and of course you can change all these values to whatever you want, right? So let's save and let's go back to the map. As you can see, now we have some gravity force being applied to the raindrops, but it's not aligned with the velocity, so we need to align this as well. So let's go back here to the system and let's select the sprite render of the raindrops, and let's change the alignment mode here to velocity aligned. Let's save, and there you go. As you can see, now we have some raindrops. Okay, so now let's just change the lifetime of the raindrops. So let's go back to the system and let's select here the initialize particle module. So here in the lifetime, let's put maybe 0.3. So let's save, and this is basically it. This is a simple raindrop. But as you can see from this angle, the raindrops are not on the ground. So this is happening because of the collision radius of the rain. So to change this, let's go back to the system here and let's select the collision module of the rain. So here, as you can see, we have the particle radius scale. Let's change this to maybe 0.1. Let's save. And now if we go back, as you can see, now the raindrops are more on the ground than before. And this is basically it for the rain effect. Of course, you can do a lot more with this. You can add more complexity to this rain. You can change the colors. But for this simple rain, this is basically it. I just want to show you one more thing, because of course, you're not going to cover the entire map with this system. So I want to show you how to make this rain follow the player. So let me show you this. Okay, so now that we have the rain, let's delete this from the map. So let's just select the system here and delete, because now we need to add this in the player blueprint. So let's open the player blueprint. So let me go to characters here and let's open the third person character. So basically here in this blueprint, we need to add the rain. To do this, let's add a component. So here in components, let's search for Niagara. Let's add a Niagara particle system component here, and let's name this NS for Niagara system rain, like this. So here in the Niagara system asset, we can select the rain that we created, like this. And as you can see, now we have the rain here in the character blueprint. Let's just put this above the character. So maybe here, let me put 500 like this. So now we have the rain in the character blueprint. And now if we hit play, as you can see, we have the rain. But if we rotate the character, the rain rotates with us, and we don't want that. So let me show you one way that you can fix this. So to fix this, you can basically set the world rotation of the rain to 0, 0, 0. So let's go to the event graph and let's add a tick event here. So let me add a tick event. So basically we need to set the world rotation of the rain to 0, 0, 0. So let's drag the NS rain in the graph like this, and let's drag from this and type set world rotation. Let's select this node here and let's leave this as 0, 0, 0. Let's compile and save. And now if we hit play, as you can see, we have the rain, but if we rotate the character, the rain stays the same, as you can see. So basically the rain is now always 0, 0, 0. So this is basically one way that you can fix the rotation. And I think the rain is too white, so let's change a little bit the colors here. So let's just go back to the Niagara system here and let's go to initialize particle of the rain. So here we have colors. I just want to change the alpha here to 0.2. So let's put 0.2 here and let's do the same for the raindrops. So let's go to initialize particle and let's change the alpha of the color here to 0.2. Let's hit OK and save. And now if we hit play, the rain looks like this. And this is basically it for this video. This is a simple rain, but I think it gives you enough information to make your own rain systems, right? But this is basically it for this video. If you did like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe so you don't lose any new content. And as always, thank you for watching, keep learning, I'll see you next time.